Zero. Oh, we still have our Fabio voices going. Okay, really quick reminder. Today is 2-11. What is it?
2-11.
We need to be sitting up. We are going to work really hard to get lots of two-step story problem practice in so that we can move on to science and have some fun, some time for a fun coloring activity. And online friends, I'll get that so I can send it to you guys also. But I do need everybody to have their heads up. Jade, gotta be sitting up. And our tools are out of our hands.
What?
Right? Well, we're ready? This is the first problem. You're just watching so that you know how I want you guys doing your problems today. Do you need to be working this problem out on your desk right now?
No.
Nope, we're just watching. Just watching. Oh, she's calling me again. Numero uno. 9 hens laid 6 eggs each. 5 of the eggs broke. How many eggs are left? And so I'm thinking in my brain, I'm thinking, okay, they kind of gave away. They told me that it's two-step word problem. So I know I'm going to have to do 2 steps to find my answer. So I need to be kind of a reading detective, and I need to be finding where's my first step. Yesterday I asked you guys to underline like the first 2 sentences, and sometimes that's where you found your first step, but sometimes it was sneaky and it was maybe only in the first sentence, or maybe the first sentence didn't really give you any number information and it was just in the second sentence. So we've got to be detectives and find where do we find that first step. So 9 hens laid 6 eggs each. I'm going to pause there. Can I do any math work yet? If there's 9 hens and they each laid 6 eggs.
Yes. Yes.
How would I represent that? Ellie.
6 times 6.
6 times
9.
9. Or I'm going to flip it just to help my brain remember. I'm going to flip it as 9 times 6 since it's 9 groups of 6, but it's the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and put that as my first step. 9 groups of 6, because just after that first sentence, it already let me do a math fact, right? There were 9 hens. They each laid 6 eggs. Then it says 5 of the eggs broke. So I have to be thinking, if 5 of them broke and I want to know how many are left, Gunnar, how would I represent that?
-5.
I would say, okay, we lost 5. Minus 5 equals E for eggs, right? Do you remember when we used these variables way back in the day?
Semicolon.
We're bringing them back. Who can remind me what a variable is?
Equals.
Miss River. Good. A variable is a letter that represents like our unknown, like our mystery, right? So usually we use the letter that stands for our label. So since this is how many eggs, I chose E for eggs, right? Then I get to do that fancy dancy semicolon, and I'm thinking, okay, what's my first step? Whenever I think of 2-step equations, I'm thinking, please excuse
My dear Aunt Sally.
And this is the first step I wanted to do, so that's good. My first thing, I would multiply and then subtract. So 9 times 6 is
54.
54. 54 minus 5. When you get that in your brain, be ready to share it. 54 minus 5. Aha! So I would say E equals 49 eggs. What if I had gotten stumped and I read something and I was like, golly, I don't know how to represent that in my equation yet? Hadley, if I was reading it and I was like, 9 hens laid 6 eggs each. I got 2 numbers. I think I should be able to represent it, but I'm not sure what operation to do. What would be a smart thing to do if you get stuck like that? Oh, that's a perfect first step. Read it again. Yes. Go ahead and give us a point for that. What do you say?
Oh, yeah.
Then what? What if you read it again and you're still like, okay, how do I represent 9 hens laying 6 eggs each? What's the thing that we've practiced doing all the time? We're usually in this blank space over here. to help us figure out what type of equation it is. Eli?
Parentheses.
The parentheses don't really help me solve it. They just tell me to do it first. And I get to do this one first, right? Because multiplication comes first. I mean, like, before I wrote that, if I read 9 hens like 6 eggs each, and I know I need to start my equation, but I don't know how to write that part of the equation. I don't know if I should be dividing or multiplying or adding or subtracting. What strategy have we learned as mathematicians if we get stuck there to help us start our equation? Skylar?
Please excuse my doing it salad.
What's that?
Please excuse my doing it salad.
Ooh, that tells me how to solve it afterwards. But what helps me figure out how to write my equation? Emerson?
Picture.
Picture! Have we practiced drawing our math drawings?
Yeah.
Heck yeah, draw it out. So if you don't remember, like, okay, 9 hens laid 6 eggs each, and I say, okay, mathematician, how are you going to write that as an equation? And you look at me and you're like, I don't know.
And don't raise your hand.
What am I probably going to tell you to do?
Wrong picture.
Draw it out. So if I've got 9 hens, that's 9 groups. And each of them had 6 eggs. Do we have a song for the sixes? We don't, do we? 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. Oh my goodness. 40.
Oh my god.
My brain's not working. Give me one second. Here, let's start over.
Mine too.
6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, and that's it. We have to stop at 54 because we only had 9 groups. So that told me 54 minus 5 is
49.
49 eggs. But if you need to draw it out to figure out what operation you're doing, do it. If you see these equal groups drawings, you know it's going to be a multiplication problem. Yes, ma'am.
Since I took the medicine, I've been feeling worse.
You want to check in with the nurse again? Go ahead and grab your health card. You ready to try to help me with the second one?
Yes.
Numero dos.
Gunner,
This one you're doing with me.
Gunner,
The next one you're going to be doing on your own. So make sure you're really paying attention. Third graders, please read this problem with me. Does it need to be bigger? Maybe a little.
using the wall.
Hey Emerson, how's the view back there?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
Alright, we're good. There are
8 houses.
on Jeremiah Street. I'm going to start over because I have like 5 friends that are reading with me, but I want everybody. Are you ready?
Yes, we are.
There are 8 houses on Jeremiah Street. Each house has 1 willow tree, 6 apple trees, and 2 olive trees. How many trees are on Jeremiah Street in all? I want you to use your eyeballs to read that silently again. Oh, do you need to worry about what she's doing?
Can I get the wall?
She does, because she's going to pay for it later when we're working, right? I want you using your eyeballs to read this again and be thinking, where can I find my first step where I can actually do a math problem?
There are 8 houses.
What's your job? Reading this. Alrighty, hocus pocus. Let's read the first sentence. There are 8 houses on Jeremiah Street. Can I do a math equation with that first sentence yet?
No.
Okay, I'll keep going. Each house has 1 willow tree, 6 apple trees, and 2 olive trees. Can I do something with that?
Yes.
Let's do, what would I be trying to figure out with that, Ryland?
So you know 8 times 1
Yeah?
is 8. And after you figure out that answer, you can move on to the 6, and then you can add
some rockstar math thinking. What do you say?
Oh, yeah.
Rylan figured, she goes, well, there's 8 houses. If each house has 1 willow tree, then I can do 8 times 1 for the willow tree, plus 8 times 6 for how many apple trees, plus 8 times 2 for how many olive trees. That's absolutely one way I can solve this. Can I show you guys a way that makes that, I think, a little easier for your brain? I'm going to figure out first just how many trees does one house have. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, here's my first step. 1 willow tree plus 6 apple trees plus 2 olive trees. Would you agree that that tells me how many trees one house has? Okay. Since this is addition, but I want it to be my first step, what do I probably need to add to this? Eli? Parentheses. So we're going to put that, I'm going to say, my first step I want to do is figure out how many trees does one house have, right? What is 1 plus 6 plus 2, friends?
9.
9. Then I can take that times the 8 houses, and I'll actually get the same answer, Rylan, as when you did 8 times 1 plus 8 times 6 times 8 plus 2 because of that associative property, right? But this one, I gotta do a lot less writing for my equation. So I can just say this is 9 times 8 tells me, check your squeaky chairs, tells me the amount of trees that I have. And remember, when we have a t as our variable, please add that little tail so it doesn't look like plus. Who thinks they could tell me how many trees are on the street in all? Miss Maddie. 9 times 8 equals T. I think 9s are still maybe our toughest facts up in here. Remember with your count, your 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
72.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not 9 times 9. It's 9 times 8. 5, 6, 7, 8.
72.
Good, Maddie. 72 trees. We got it. You guys ready to try your own?
Yes.
I want to see this equation with a variable and then your answer and label. Jade, have a great night. Make sure you grab your water bottle and push in your chair and stuff.
Wait, she's leaving?
Sorry, hope you feel better, girlie.
What's wrong?
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes, we
I
are.
will read it to you, but you're on your own for the equation this time. So you really got to listen, and you've really got to look for that first, like reading one sentence at a time to see if you can solve, okay? Tim has 9 marbles. Go ahead and shake your head yes or no if you can do anything yet. Tim has 9 marbles. Ryan has 3 fewer marbles than Tim. If Tim has 9 marbles and Ryan has 3 fewer marbles than Tim, I heard something where I might want to do one of these things. Okay. Then I can know that Leslie has 5 more marbles than Ryan. Oh my land, I think you're going to want to do another one of these things.
Are you kidding me?
How many marbles does Leslie have? Good luck, my friends. Online people, please pause the video so that you can work this out. My friends in here, you got 3 minutes to work this out. Use your pictures. Remember those comparison bars. Those more than and fewer than words are tricky sometimes. But I want to see your equation, answer, and label. Don't forget a variable, too. Clase. I know some of you are still working it out. But let's go ahead and check in here. You guys can help fill out this equation. If Tim has 9 marbles and Ryan has 3 fewer than Tim, what can I plug into this top comparison bar? River.
For 10, you can plug in 9.
Okay.
And for the box, you can plug in 3.
Does Ryan have 3 marbles?
No. In the circle,
He has
there's
3.
3 fewer.
So I'll put that in the
Circle.
circle. Okay. Now, who can give me an equation to represent this? How would I figure out how many Ryan has here? Because that's my first step. I'll let you finish it off there.
6.
9 minus 3. Now, I know you guys know that that's 6, but if you just write 6 in your equation, it's not a two-step equation. So I want you to practice
Wait, this
that you solve this by doing 9 minus 3. Since it's subtraction, but it's my first step, what does it probably need? Parentheses. So we'll do that. That tells me how many Ryan has. He's got 6. Which means that I can plug that into my bottom comparison bars. We know that Ryan has 6. Who can tell me what else to plug into my bottom comparison bar? It says Leslie has 5 more marbles than
11.
Ryan. What would I plug into this math drawing to help? Hendrix?
11.
I didn't hear 11 in there anywhere. Leslie has 5 more marbles than Ryan. Olivia?
5.
Where would I put that 5?
In the circle.
In the circle, because it's 5 more than. Then, Hendrix.
Leslie has 11.
Yes. So, since this represents 6, this part of my equation. Oh, hocus pocus. You need your eyeballs up here so you actually see which part I'm talking about. Since this part, this 9 minus 3, is how I got the 6, that part's already represented. But what did we do to that amount to get how many Leslie has? With this 6 already solved, what do I do with the 5 to get my answer? Rylan?
So you mine plus the 5.
Yes.
And then it equals
I got 6 plus 5.
11.
It would be 11. So I'm going to put my m because I want my variable. M equals 11. 11 what?
Marbles.
Marbles. Next problem.
Next problem. Next problem. Next problem.
I'm going to hop down to talk about some pumpkins.
Yay.
Numero 5. Angela had $4. I'm just going to go ahead and represent this already. You can't even see it. How about that? She bought 2 pumpkins for $1 each. So I know she used her $4 to get a pumpkin for $1 and another pumpkin for $1. How much money does she have now? Oh, well that's not 4. So she took that and this. Figure out how much she has now. You don't have to draw that, but you need a 2-step equation with a variable, answer, and label. So I'll read it again. Angela had $4. Can I do an equation with just that 4? Nope. She bought 2 pumpkins for $1 each. Can I make an equation with that? Yeah. She had 2 groups of 1. That's how much she spent. How much money does Angela have now? Work it out on her desk. Online friends, go ahead and solve yours also. Pause the screen if you need time. Who can tell me what you did first on this problem? Brielle,
I did 4 minus 2.
where did you get the 2? So I agree, we're going to have to start with 4 because she started with $4.
I got 2 because it says she got 2 pumpkins for $1 each.
So how can we represent, I've got it in my picture as 2 groups of 1. How would I represent that?
So you would do, and then after 4, you do 4 minus 2 times 1.
Good. 2 groups of 1, or 2 times 1. Now in this equation, I would have to multiply first, right? Do we want to multiply first? Yeah, we do. So it's good to go. You could have added parentheses and it would have gotten the same answer, but you don't need it. So we would say 2 times 1 is 2. 4, oh, and that's tricky. How much money? I'm going to put D for dollars. But I'm going to say 4 minus 2 is, everybody?
6. No, 6.
Hold up. 4 minus 2 is $2. Here's the deal. You are going to have 3 problems to do yourself. Okay? These 3 problems are going to be your check to be ready to move on to homework. I would like you to put them on like on a notebook paper or scrapbook paper instead of your desk. So, I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Have it ready to go. Online friends, these are the 3 problems that are going to be in your slides today. And the problems are going to be number 7, perfect, 7, 8, and 9. I like it. 7, 8, and 9. One of them's about a locker room. One of them's about postcards with animals. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
And the last one is about some books at the library, which, if we keep it up, we might be able to open our library back up. Alright. I'm going to put these up here. I'm going to give you 10 minutes of work time. If you finish early, bring it to me and I'll check them. Online, friends, it might be easiest to work these out on paper first and then be ready to put them in your slides. Otherwise, you can use that split screen feature from the video that I posted. But these are the 3 problems that will be in your practice problems in your slides today. Good luck. So we decided that we're going to check through these together so you can kind of check your work and make sure you get those up on your slides. But we are on numero 7. In the locker room, there are 8 rows of 9 lockers. Gunnar, how would I represent 8 rows of 9?
So 8. So the 8.
Equation-wise, 8.
8 times 9.
Bingo. 8 rows of 9 lockers. That tells me how many lockers I have.
8 times 9.
They were full in the morning, so we would have had 72 all full. But in the afternoon, 6 were empty.
Minus 6.
Good. So I would subtract the 6 that were empty to figure out how many lockers, and it's an L with a tail, so it doesn't look like a 1. Do I need parentheses in this problem, or is multiplication still going to happen first?
Multiplication is still going to happen first.
Yeah, it's good to go. So if I've got this minus 6, Dax man,
8 equals 66.
66 lockers. Show me if you got the right answer, if you were working on it, and you've got some questions for me. Riley?
I did the equation wrong.
So what did you write for your equation?
I did 8 times 6.
Oh, right now Riley just got the floor.
It's like the same thing, but it's 8 times 9. No, 8 times 9 minus 6 equals 66.
So you had the same equation?
Yeah, but I didn't do equals L and.
Oh, you just forgot to use your variables. So make sure that you practice using variables on your homework today. Glad that you caught that though. Emerson? Gunnar? Let's look at numero 8. Anita received 3 postcards of zebras and 2 postcards of monkeys each month for 3 months. How am I going to start this off? She's got 3 postcards of zebras and 2 postcards of monkeys. How do I represent that? Savannah?
3 times 2 plus 3. What?
Careful. I just want to know the zebra postcards and the monkey postcards. What does "and" usually tell us to do in math? Add. So we're just going to say she's got 3 zebra postcards and 2 monkey postcards. Then, if she's got it for 3 months, that's where I get to say she has each of those 3 times. So we're going to say times 3. River, is there something else I need in there?
Parentheses marks.
Why do I need parentheses on this problem?
Because the adding is first.
We need to do this first. And if we don't put our parentheses, we would be multiplying 2 times 3 first and get something totally different. Got a mathematician who's got their answer for this problem ready to roll. Miss Maddie. 5 times 3.
5 times 3.
Because 3 plus 2 is 5.
15.
Good. 15.
Postcards.
Postcards. Nice work, friends. And the last problem.
Last problem.
The library has 2 books about the desert and 8 books about the rainforest. And usually tells us we need to add. So here's my desert books and my rainforest books. Then what? Who can read this next sentence for me? I know River can. She's been doing all these problems. I know Brielle can. She's been helping me a ton of math. Where's another mathematician I haven't heard from today? Hadley, go ahead and read my underlined sentence.
The books were divided into groups of 2.
Okay, if I heard the words divided into groups of 2, what's my next step going to be?
Times 2.
If they said divided by 2, would I write times 2?
Divided by 2.
Oh, divide by 2. They're saying, hey, they were divided, so I'm going to divide into groups of 2. Not yet. I don't get to put my semicolon until after I have my variable. And I'm trying to figure out how many groups, so I'll put G for groups. Now, is my equation good to go, Eli? Do I want to add first or divide first?
Parentheses.
'Where do I need parentheses, my friend?
2 and 8.
2 plus 8, because we want to add first, right? We got to figure out, here's how many books we have, and then we'll divide it by 2. This time, I'm going to let everybody tell me my answer. When I drop my hand, you can tell me how many how many groups were there. If they had 2 plus 8, that gives me 10, and they split them into 2 piles, or groups of 2, excuse me. How many groups were there?
Equals 20.
Oh my goodness, we're going to try that again. Class. I need your eyeballs. Clearly you guys aren't looking because you didn't say the answer when my hand dropped, zombies. There were 10 books. They divided them into groups of 2. How many groups would that be? 10 divided by 2. 10 divided by 2 is what? 5 groups. Check your work. See how you did. Did you remember to put parentheses when we added or subtracted first?
Yes.
Did you remember to use a variable in your equation? Those are some things that you want to be checking to make sure, friends, to make sure really that you're ready for your math homework today. Now, speaking of homework today, you do not have to do remembering. I just want you to practice these 2-step equations. So it's 2-11, homework only. What is it? Good luck.
Odd or even?